All right, are you ready? Get ready to dive into a world of Spanish passion and family drama.
Oh, I'm ready.
Today,
Sounds exciting.
we are cracking open Culpa Mia.
Okay.
It's a popular novel that kind of throws the 17-year-old, Noah,
Mhm.
into a whirlwind of luxury and forbidden romance.
Yeah,
And some seriously shady secrets.
I love it.
Think you can handle it.
Oh, I think we can handle anything, especially when it comes to unpacking a book like this and what makes it tick.
Yeah.
From what you've told me, it sounds like Culpa Mia, or My Fault in English,
Right.
is like a prime example of how this familiar trope, like enemies
Yeah.
to lovers, can still feel fresh and exciting.
Totally.
Like it's like woven into this unique setting and culture.
Right. And the author, Mercedes Ron,
Okay.
she doesn't waste any time.
No.
She throws us headfirst into the drama from the very first page.
Oh, wow.
Remember that party incident you mentioned?
Oh, absolutely.
The one where Noah wakes up feeling totally disoriented, like
Yes.
what happened?
Yeah, it's a classic opening move for this genre.
Right.
Immediately we're hit with this sense of mystery
Yeah,
and danger.
totally.
And when Noah suspects Nicholas, her new stepbrother,
Oh, boy.
of being involved, well, that just ramps up the tension.
It's like she's stepping into a viper's nest, right?
Yeah.
This luxurious new life with her mom and stepdad feels more like a gilded cage,
Oh,
especially with Nicholas lurking around every corner.
yeah, and what's interesting is how the author uses this luxurious setting to highlight the power dynamics at play.
Yeah.
Noah is surrounded by all this wealth and privilege, but she also feels incredibly vulnerable, especially with someone like Nicholas,
Right.
who kind of embodies that world's darker side,
Yeah.
constantly testing her.
And let's be honest, the guy is trouble with a capital T.
Yes, he is.
Between the veiled threats and the mysterious races he's involved in.
Right.
And that whole bear cave of a bedroom, it's like he's
Yeah.
practically begging for a confrontation.
Exactly. He's like the classic bad boy archetype.
Yeah.
But there are these hints that there's more to him than meets the eye.
Okay.
Remember that scene with Thor, his dog?
Oh, yeah.
At first, Thor is wary of Noah, but then he seems to warm up to her.
Yeah.
It's almost as if the dog senses something that Noah doesn't see yet.
Oh, interesting.
Complexity
Okay.
beneath Nicholas's rough exterior.
Ooh, good catch. It's those little details that really add depth to a story.
Right.
And speaking of details,
Yeah.
can we talk about that shared tattoo for a second?
Oh, yes.
What is it with these two and cryptic ink?
Well, choosing a Celtic knot is a deliberate move on the author's part.
Okay.
Think about what that symbol represents.
Yeah.
Eternity, interconnectedness, an unbreakable bond.
Right.
It's practically foreshadowing that their fates are entwined, whether they like it or not.
It's like a visual representation of that magnetic pull they have towards each other,
Yeah.
despite all the reasons they should hate each other.
And it makes you wonder
Yeah.
how much of their animosity is genuine
Totally.
and how much is a cover for something deeper. It's like this classic push and pull dynamic that keeps the reader guessing.
Okay, so we've got this simmering tension between Noah and Nicholas.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not forget about Noah's inner turmoil.
Oh.
She's not just dealing with a frustrating stepbrother.
Yeah.
She's also grappling with a whole cocktail of emotions.
You're absolutely right. It would be easy to write Noah off as like a typical angsty teenager.
Yeah.
But she's so much more than that.
Right.
She's dealing with the upheaval of moving, the uncertainty of a new family dynamic,
Yeah.
and even like the sting of her boyfriend Dan being MIA when it comes to communication.
Totally. Like, where is he?
It's like she's trying to find her footing in this new world
Yeah.
while simultaneously pushing everyone away.
And it's made even more complex by the fact that on some level, she's drawn to the luxury and excitement of her new life.
Oh, yeah.
It's like she's battling her own internal good angel, bad angel on top of everything else.
It's a conflict a lot of us can relate to, right?
Totally.
That feeling of being drawn to something, even when we know it might not be good for us. It's human nature, and it makes Noah a much more relatable and compelling character.
So how does this internal struggle play out?
Yeah.
Does she eventually embrace this new life?
Wow.
Or does she double down on her rebellion?
That's where things start to get interesting.
Yeah.
Especially when Nicholas and his entourage enter the picture.
Oh, you mean the pool scene,
Yes.
where one of Nicholas's friends starts creeping on Noah.
Exactly.
Talk about adding fuel to the fire.
It's a pivotal scene for several reasons.
Yeah.
Not only does it highlight the very real dangers that women, especially young women, face in a patriarchal society,
Right.
but it also reveals a surprising layer to Nicholas's character.
Wait, are you talking about when he actually steps in to defend her? At least to a certain extent.
Exactly.
It's a glimmer of decency from a guy who, up until this point, has been all arrogance and intimidation.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It does.
Is it genuine concern for Noah? Or is he just asserting his dominance over his friend, reminding everyone who's really in control?
Yeah.
And the fact that he seems amused by Noah's defiance adds another layer of intrigue to their dynamic.
Right. It's like he's both attracted to her strength and threatened by it at the same time.
Yes.
And then, just when we think we're starting to get a handle on these two, boom.
Right.
We overhear that cryptic conversation about those races and Nicholas's shady friends.
Exactly.
Talk about a cliffhanger.
It's the perfect way to leave the listener hanging, desperate to know more.
I know.
What are these races? What kind of danger is Nicholas really involved in?
Right.
And how will Noah, who's already teetering on the edge of chaos,
Yeah.
get pulled into this dangerous world?
It's like the calm before the storm, right? We know things are about to get messy.
Yes.
And we can't wait to see how it all unfolds.
I know, me too.
But before we dive into that,
Okay.
let's take a moment to consider another important aspect of Noah's life, her relationship with her mother.
Yes. The gala preparation scene
Okay.
provides a fascinating glimpse into a different side of Noah.
Yeah.
It's like we're seeing her vulnerability peek through the cracks of her tough girl facade.
It's almost a relief to see her interact with someone who isn't Nicholas.
Right.
Even if it is her mother,
Yeah.
who seems oblivious to the turmoil brewing beneath the surface.
And that obliviousness is key, isn't it?
Yeah.
It highlights the disconnect between Noah's internal world and the seemingly perfect life her mother has created.
Right.
While her mother fusses over dresses and guest lists,
Yeah.
Noah is drowning in a sea of confusion, anger, and unspoken emotions.
Totally.
And let's not forget she's missing her boyfriend, Dan.
Right.
That silence from him speaks volumes about the shaky ground their relationship is on.
It's a reminder that at the end of the day, she's still a teenager yearning for connection and stability.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if part of her attraction to Nicholas stems from a subconscious desire to rebel against her mother's carefully constructed world.
That's an insightful observation.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
What's that?
If Noah hadn't been forced to move, would she have ever crossed paths with Nicholas? Would she have even been susceptible to his dangerous charm?
It's like fate. Or maybe the author had other plans.
Perhaps, but I think it's safe to say that their meeting was anything but accidental.
All right, so we've got a rebellious and brooding stepbrother,
Yes.
a fiercely independent stepsister,
Right.
a shared tattoo that hints at a deeper connection, and these mysterious races looming in the background.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, boy.
Buckle up, because things are about to get a whole lot more complicated.
Okay, we'll be back.
I'm excited. So remember how we left off, like, wondering about those races?
Yeah.
Nicholas is so secretive
Like
about?
races, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
let's just say they're not.
Okay.
Your average go-kart competition.
Yeah, those cryptic hints about high stakes and danger definitely set off some alarm bells for me.
Right.
It's like the author is dangling a giant neon trouble sign in front of us.
Yeah.
So what's the deal? What are these races really about?
Okay, so imagine a world where, like, speed and adrenaline are currency.
Okay,
And the only rules are the ones you make yourself.
right.
That's the world of underground street racing
Okay.
that Nicholas is entangled in.
So he's like in deep with this.
Yes, it's a high-stakes game where the winner takes all, but the losers often pay a steep price.
I'm getting serious Fast and Furious vibes here,
Oh, yeah.
but with a dose of Spanish flair?
Exactly.
So what's driving Nicholas to risk it all?
Uh.
Is it just a thrill-seeking thing, or is there something deeper going on?
Well, on the surface, it seems like Nicholas is addicted to the adrenaline rush,
Okay.
the feeling of being in control, of pushing himself to the limit.
Yeah.
But if we dig a little deeper,
Okay.
we see that his involvement in this dangerous world is also a form of rebellion,
Oh, interesting.
a way of kind of thumbing his nose at the expectations and constraints
Okay.
of his wealthy upbringing.
So he's trying to outrun his own demons, right?
Yeah.
But instead of facing them head on, he's channeling that energy into something that could ultimately destroy him.
Exactly.
Okay.
And what's even more fascinating is how this reckless behavior plays into the bad boy archetype.
Yeah.
It's almost as if Nicholas is living up to the image he's created for himself,
Right.
fueling that dangerous aura that both attracts and repels Noah.
Speaking of Noah,
Yes.
I can't imagine she's thrilled about Nicholas's extracurricular activities.
Right.
She already sees him as a walking red flag.
Yeah.
How does she react when she finds out what he's really up to?
Well, initially, she tries to distance herself.
Okay.
She sees the danger,
Mm-hmm.
the potential consequences,
Yeah.
not just for Nicholas, but for everyone around him.
Totally.
But remember, Noah is also dealing with her own internal struggles,
Right.
her own sense of rebellion.
Yeah.
She's drawn to the excitement, the danger, even as she recognizes the potential for disaster.
It's like she's caught in a tug of war between her better judgment and that undeniable pull towards the forbidden
Exactly.
classic Culpa Mia dilemma.
And let's not forget that this whole time, they're carrying around this shared secret,
Right.
this Celtic knot tattoo
Yeah.
that binds them together on like a deeper level.
Yeah.
It's like a physical manifestation of their intertwined destinies,
Oh, wow.
even as they try to fight against it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've got forbidden romance,
Yes.
family drama, and now this dangerous underground racing scene.
Yeah.
It's like the author took every element of a guilty pleasure read
Right.
and cranked it up to 11.
And just when you think it can't get any more intense.
Oh, no.
Remember that party incident we talked about earlier?
Sure.
The one where Noah suspects she was drugged?
Yes. Oh, my gosh. I remember that.
Well, we finally get some answers.
Okay.
And let me tell you, they're not pretty.
Oh, I'm all ears.
Okay, so
Spill the tea?
Yeah.
What really went down at that party?
it turns out that Noah's instincts were right.
Uh-oh.
She was indeed drugged.
What?
And it wasn't just some random act of cruelty.
Whoa.
It was a deliberate attempt to humiliate
Oh, gosh.
and control her,
Really?
orchestrated by none other than
No way.
Nicholas himself.
Wait, what? Nicholas drugged her?
Yeah.
That's messed up. I mean, we knew he was trouble,
Right.
but this is a whole new level of messed up.
It is.
Why would he do something like that?
Well, remember how we talked about Nicholas feeling like an outsider
Yeah.
in his own family,
Mm-hmm.
resenting Noah and her mother for disrupting his life?
Yeah.
This act of sabotage stems from that deep-seated anger
Okay.
and resentment.
Mm-hmm.
It's his way of lashing out,
Okay.
of asserting his power over Noah,
Yeah.
even if it means crossing a serious line.
Okay, so we can see the twisted logic behind it,
Yeah,
but it's still a pretty horrific act.
it is.
How does Noah react when she finds out the truth?
You can imagine the explosion.
Yeah.
She feels betrayed, violated,
Right.
and her hatred for Nicholas intensifies
Yeah.
their relationship,
Yeah.
which was already volatile.
Right.
Becomes like a powder keg ready to blow at any moment.
Oh, boy.
But even in her anger,
Okay.
there's a part of Noah that's still drawn to Nicholas.
Yeah.
A part of her that can't completely shake that magnetic pull.
It's like she hates him,
Right.
but she also can't help but be fascinated by him, right?
Exactly. It's that classic bad boy allure
Mm-hmm.
mixed with the fact that they have this shared history, this unspoken connection.
Right.
And it raises a really important question for the listener.
Yeah, what's that?
How do we reconcile the dark side of attraction?
Ooh.
How do we navigate those feelings of being drawn to someone
Yeah.
who might not be good for us?
It's a question that resonates far beyond the pages of this novel.
Right.
It's something we all grapple with in our own lives,
Yeah.
whether it's in romantic relationships, friendships, or even professional settings.
Exactly.
But back to Culpa Mia, how does this revelation about the party incident change things between Noah and Nicholas?
Well,
Does she expose him?
that's where things get even more complicated.
Oh, no.
Noah is torn between her desire for justice
Okay.
and her fear of the consequences.
Right.
She knows that speaking out
Yeah,
could have serious repercussions,
totally.
not just for Nicholas, but for her family as well.
Mm-hmm.
She's trapped in this web of secrets and lies,
Yeah.
and every choice she makes seems to lead to a dead end.
It's like she's playing a game of chess,
Right.
but every move she makes puts her in checkmate.
Exactly.
So what does she do?
Right.
Does she confront Nicholas again?
Well,
Does she confide in her mother?
that's the beauty of this story. It keeps you guessing until the very last page.
Ugh, the suspense.
But let's just say that Noah is a survivor,
Okay.
and she's not afraid to fight for what she believes in,
Good for her.
even if it means going up against the very person she's starting to fall for.
Okay, so we've got this tangled web of secrets. Yeah.
Lies and forbidden attraction.
Yes.
But let's not forget about those high-octane races that are lurking in the background.
Right.
How does that storyline develop, and how does it impact Noah and Nicholas's already volatile relationship?
Well, it's not just a backdrop for their drama.
Okay.
It becomes like a central conflict,
Oh.
putting both of them in danger.
Oh, no.
It turns out that Nicholas is in over his head.
Uh-oh.
He owes a lot of money
Okay.
to some very dangerous people,
Yikes.
and they're not afraid to use violence to collect.
So basically, Nicholas is playing with fire, and it's only a matter of time before he gets burned.
Yes.
And I'm guessing Noah gets caught in the crossfire.
You got it. As much as Noah tries to distance herself from Nicholas and his risky world,
Yeah.
their lives are just too intertwined.
Right.
The stakes are too high,
Mm.
and the danger escalates,
Okay.
forcing them to confront their feelings and make some tough choices.
So it's a case of can't live with him, can't live without him.
Yeah. Sounds like a recipe for some serious emotional turmoil.
Exactly. And as their relationship deepens,
Mm-hmm.
their shared past,
Okay.
the one hinted at by that Celtic knot tattoo,
Yeah.
starts to unravel,
Huh.
revealing a connection that goes far beyond their current animosity.
Okay, we're definitely hooked now.
I am too.
But we've covered so much ground already.
Yeah.
Let's pause here
Okay.
and pick up the threads of this intense story in the final part
Right.
of our deep dive into Culpa Mia.
I can't wait.
We'll unravel that shared past,
Okay.
explore how those high-stakes races come to a head,
Right.
and see if Noah and Nicholas can find their way out of this mess,
Yes.
preferably with their hearts and lives intact.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm still reeling from that last revelation Nicholas drugged Noah at that party.
Yeah.
That's dark, even for him.
Right.
It makes those bad boy vibes a lot less appealing.
It shows just how complex this character really is.
Yeah.
He's clearly struggling with some deep-seated anger
Mm-hmm.
and resentment,
Yeah.
and he's lashing out in ways that hurt everyone around him,
Yeah.
including himself.
It makes you wonder if he's even capable of genuine love,
Right.
considering how much pain he inflicts on others, especially Noah.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can someone who's so deeply flawed
Right.
be redeemed by love?
It's a good question.
And is Noah strong enough to be the one to help him find that redemption?
Heavy stuff. But before we get too philosophical, let's talk about how those high-stakes races play out.
Okay.
I have a feeling they're not going to end with a friendly handshake and a trophy ceremony.
You've got that right.
Yeah.
Remember how we talked about Nicholas being in over his head with those dangerous creditors?
Yes.
Well, things escalate quickly.
Uh-oh.
And those races become more than just a way for him to blow off steam
Okay.
and rebel against his family.
Mm-hmm.
They become a desperate fight for survival.
So it's like the stakes are raised to a whole new level.
Exactly.
It's not just about winning or losing a race. It's about life or death.
Exactly. And as the danger mounts,
Mm-hmm.
so does the tension between Nicholas and Noah.
Oh, boy.
They're forced to work together, to rely on each other, even as they struggle to reconcile their feelings and their past.
Okay, now I'm really curious about that shared past.
Yeah.
What happened between them as kids
Right.
that created such a strong, albeit complicated bond.
Right.
That Celtic knot tattoo is like a giant question mark hanging over their relationship.
Well, here's where the author throws us another curveball.
Okay.
It turns out that Noah and Nicholas didn't just know each other as children.
Okay.
They were best friends. Inseparable. Almost like soulmates.
Wow, I did not see that coming. So their relationship isn't just based on this current animosity and forbidden attraction.
Right.
It's rooted in a deep, almost forgotten love.
Right.
Talk about adding another layer of complexity.
It's a brilliant move by the author, right?
Yeah.
It completely reframes their dynamic.
Yeah.
And makes their current conflict even more heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And it explains why they have such a strong, undeniable pull towards each other,
Right.
despite all the pain and baggage they carry.
It's like they're trying to recapture something that was lost.
Yeah.
Something pure and innocent, even as they're surrounded by darkness and danger.
And it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
What's that?
Can they overcome the hurt and anger of the past,
Yeah.
the betrayals and misunderstandings to find their way back to each other?
That's the ultimate question, isn't it? Can love truly conquer all? But I have a feeling Mercedes Ron isn't going to give us easy answers.
You're right about that.
Yeah.
This novel is full of twists and turns,
Oh, but...
and the ending is no exception.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil it for you. But I will say that it's both satisfying
Okay.
and thought-provoking.
I like it.
It leaves you with a sense of hope,
I like it.
but also with a lingering awareness
Okay.
of the complexities of love and forgiveness.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? Why should you care about the story of Noah and Nicholas? What makes Culpa Mia more than just a guilty pleasure read?
I think this novel reminds us that even the most complicated relationships can be redeemed,
Yeah.
and that sometimes the people who challenge us the most are also the ones who understand us the best.
It's a story about second chances, about confronting our demons, and about the enduring power of love, even in the face of adversity.
And it's a reminder that we all have a story to tell, a past that shapes us, and a future that we have the power to create,
Right.
even if it means taking risks and facing our fears.
Beautifully said. So if you're looking for a book that will keep you on the edge of your seat,
Oh, yeah.
make you laugh, cry, and question everything you thought you knew about love, family, and the choices we make, then Culpa Mia is definitely worth adding to your reading list.
And maybe, just maybe,
Yeah.
it will inspire you to take a deep dive into your own story,
Okay.
to confront your own past, and to embrace the messy, complicated beauty of being human.
And that's a wrap on another deep dive. We hope you enjoyed exploring the world of Culpa Mia with us. Until next time, happy reading.